Hey Matrix. So today we're going to be doing the civil analytical question of the November 2023 past paper. Now I'm not going to do it all at once. I'm going to separate it into three different parts: the floor plan, the elevation, and the section. Okay. I may or may not put the section and the elevation together. It just depends. But it's just an easy way for me to break it down so that I can get it to you guys as quickly as possible. So we're just going to start off by having a look at the question paper. So you will notice that, let me just get my drawing equipment. Okay, you will notice that you are given many different things to look at on this paper. So that will obviously be your floor finishes, your elevation, your floor plan, front step and side wall details, roof diagrams, incomplete foundation diagrams, fixtures, roof components, electrical symbols, and the door and window schedule, etc., etc. Okay, so now we're going to start by reading off the question. Obviously, we will be breaking this off into parts just to make it easier, because to film for hours, unfortunately, I don't have the time to do that. So I'm going to break it up to make it just a little bit short and easier for me to film in one go. And the second reason is, if you already know how to draw a floor plan, you can skip, obviously, to watch the next video. Rather, you do not have to sit through all of this. Okay, but enough of that. So let's just get started. So we've got the civil drawing question. So it says, given the incomplete northeast elevation of a new house, which is that over there. Okay, showing the walls, the window, the sliding door openings, the front steps, roof, and labels. Then it says the incomplete floor plan showing the walls, front steps, position of the doors, windows, fixtures, and the electrical layout. Obviously that over there. Then we have got the front step and side wall detail, an incomplete schematic diagram of a roof truss and cutting plane AA, and roof notes, the incomplete foundation and external wall detail, room designations and floor finishes, a door and window schedule, a table of roof components, a table of electrical symbols, and a table of fixtures. It then says the incomplete floor plan and ground level of the new house drawn to scale 1 to 50, and the incomplete foundation and break lines for the detailed section drawn to scale 1 to 20 on page 6, which will be the following page in the exam paper. So basically, all they've said here is basically everything you have on your papers. Okay? Then it says, instructions. Answer this question on page 6. Given the incomplete floor plan and ground level, draw scale 1 to 50 the following views of the new house. So we've got the complete floor plan, okay, the complete northeast elevation, and the detailed section. Now I'm only going to focus on the floor plan for now, so we will do this in the next video. Okay, so it says here, add the following features to the drawing: all doors and windows, all fixtures as indicated by abbreviations, all electrical fittings as indicated by the numbers, as well as all hatching detail. Okay, so the easiest thing to do would be to start by drawing all windows and doors. And so we are going to get started with that now by scaling everything down. So we're going to start by having a look at our floor plan. And we are going to see all the window gaps, that we've got the door gaps, etc., etc. Okay, so we've got obviously where everything is going to be. So we got door 1. So if we have a look here at D1, it says to fit. These are very important because not all of them are going to fit straight in these gaps. So D1 is to fit, and it is a sliding door. So in order to draw that in, we're going to find D1, which is obviously right at the front over here. Okay, we're going to draw a line like that. And then we're going to half this line again, just like this over here. So you can see we've got it split in half. And then from that, we're going to do a line and a line, just as you see with your sliding door over here. Okay, it also says 100 mil thickness, so there might be a chance I've drawn this one a little bit big, because divided by 50, that will be 2. So if we had to measure that, this is 4, so it's going to be a little bit skinnier. So let me just quickly fix that, and then we'll see. I missed that. Don't be like me. Okay, so we know that obviously it's important to look at measurements. So because it says 100, we're going to divide it by 2. By 50, which will give us 2. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3 lines, obviously measuring 2 mils. And from those lines, we are then going to draw in the doors. So let's do that quickly. So we have got the first line, the second line, and the third line. Okay, just like this over here. Obviously, it now looks a lot better. And then we've got to add in our little sliding door details. So we're going to have that line as well as that line over there. Okay, our sliding door complete. So if you want to, you obviously can scratch out what you've done once you're in your exam, just to help you keep track. I'm going to just highlight it because I think the scratching will make it a little bit messy. At least the highlighting, we can see what we've done. Okay, then we have got the next part of the doors, which will be 3 more doors. So we've got D2, D2, and D2. So let's have a look at D2. It says 2 fit, and it's got a 50 mil thickness. So that will become 1 millimeter, and we're going to draw those windows in. Doors in. So we're going to start off by grabbing our compass, and we are going to draw the door opening. So you can measure to fit. Okay. 2 fits just like this over here. And then once you have got that, what you're going to do, whoopsie daisy, is we're going to start off by drawing a line followed by a 1 millimeter line. Just like this over here. And then you can draw in the rest of the bits of your door. So we'll have that, and we will have this over here, so that your door should look like this over here. Okay, once you've done that, you'll do that for the rest of the doors. So we've obviously got a door here, which we'll do the opening that way, and then just so that we don't have to keep redrawing, do it on the same on the other side as well. Okay, then we're going to do the exact same thing we did for the front door or the back door here. We're going to draw in a millimeter. So we have got the edge or the back part of the door. Okay. And then we will draw in a mil and a mil. So 1 millimeter, 1 millimeter. Going to draw in those millimeters really smoothly. Okay, and then once you have got that, you're going to draw in the top and bottom of your doors. So that it looks like this over here. Okay, now that that is done, we can move on to the windows. So again, just to make sure we've got all of the doors, we're just going to highlight them off. This way you can see what you've done. Obviously, I don't know if you guys can highlight during your exam, but if I were you, I would just scratch it out or cross it out to make it a bit easier. Okay, so now we've got window 1, then we've got a window 2 and a window 2. So we've got 4 windows to fit in. So if you look at the windows, you will notice that they do not actually fit in the lines given like the doors. So we're going to have to measure them and draw them in with the measurements. So we're going to start by scaling them down. So we'll have 800 divided by 50, which will obviously give us 16. Then we'll have 1,500 divided by 50, which will give us 30. Okay, So we're going to now measure those in. So we've got window 1 over here, which we now know is 3 centimeters. So you're going to measure 3. That's 1, 3. And then once you've got that in, you are very neatly and very lightly going to draw lines extending outwards. Okay, very light construction lines. Okay, then from that we are going to draw the next window 3. So we have got a line here, so we're going to do 1, 3, and then again very neatly and very lightly we're going to draw those lines going out. Okay, then once we have done that, we have got the bathroom and as well as this window here. So those are window 2, which will be 1.6 centimeters. So we've got 1.6 as well as 1.6, and then repeating the process, we're going to draw those lines going out. So we'll have 1, 1, and then again we'll have a line going here and here. Okay, so you can see there's a gap between some of these windows and the walls, so we can draw those in as well as to close off the windows. So should look like that. Okay, and then we've got this window here as well. Okay, then you can make these lines solid. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw 2 lines in the middle of the window. So going to find your middle point, then about 1 millimeter apart. Please measure, I'm just freehanding it. You're going to have a middle bit. So again, part of the middle line, then about 1 millimeter. And again, please measure it so that yours is nice and accurate. You can obviously see mine is not very accurate, but I am going to leave it for now because as long as you guys get the idea, then that's good enough for me. And then you'll obviously have your middle points here, 1 millimeter. And then your window will be drawn in. So this is a nice example of what it should look like. Okay, make sure all of your windows look like that. As I've said, this is the best looking one. These ones are not quite good, but as long as you get the idea, that's all that I'm going to ask for right now. Okay, so once you've done all of the doors and windows, you can indicate that you've done that, so that obviously you know what you have and haven't completed. Okay, then it says all fixtures is indicated by abbreviations. So this means the fixtures inside, whether that be the water closet, the wash basin, your sink, all those sorts of things, we've got to draw them in. So in this case, we've got to draw in a water closet, a wash basin, a sink, and the bathtub. Okay, and before I forget, I'm just going to mention it now. For the floor plan, you need to label all relevant fixtures. This is a built-in cupboard, so just label it BIC before we forget. Okay, moving on, we are now going to draw in our fixtures. So we're going to start by dividing these measurements by 50. Start with the toilet, so 450 divided by 50 gives us 9. We have 700 divided by 50 gives us 14, and 200 divided by 50 will give us 4. Okay, that will be 4. Then we've got our sink, so 500 divided by 50 will be 1. And we've got 400 divided by 50 will be 4. Actually, wouldn't this be 5 divided by 50? No, it's 10, sorry. So 1 centimeter basically. Okay, then we've got 1,500 divided by 50. That will give us 30. Then we've got the basin here. So that's 500, which we know will be 10. That will be 4. That will be 10. Okay, then we've got our bathtub. So 1,700 divided by 50 is equals to 34. 700 will give us 14. Okay, so now that we've got all of our measurements, we can start drawing. It's easier to get all of your measurements before you start drawing. Okay, then we're going to start drawing. So they show us that the water closet is here. So we're going to draw the toilet in first. So we're going to start by measuring 9. So we've got 9. And then I'm neatly going to draw in light construction lines toilets, and then we've got 14 and 4. Okay, so that's 14 and that will be 4. And then once you've got those lines, you can draw them in. So we've got, so here. It is important for you to remember what each of the fixtures looks like before drawing, because if you don't remember, it's not going to help you very much. So we've got the toilet, and then you can just label it water closet. Then we've got the sink next, which will obviously be the wash basin. So the wash basin will be 10 by 4. So we're going to measure 10. And you don't have to put it in a specific spot, as long as it's, like, what I mean is there's no specific measurement. As long as the toilet is where the toilet is indicated, the wash basin and the bath, it doesn't matter where exactly in relation to each other they sit with exact measurements. So I hope what I've said makes sense. Just for those of you that are a bit worried about how important it is for everything to look pretty similar. Okay, now we're going to draw in our wash basin, which is very tiny. Is 400 divided by 4 really 4? It's not. 400 divided by 4 is 100. It's 10. I thought this basin looked a bit small. So we're actually going to measure 10. Sorry, I don't know how I got that measurement. Okay, so we've got 10 by 10. Okay. Then once we have done that, we're going to draw in our wash basin. Okay. Then you're going to put the little hole in the top there, and you'll label it wash basin. Okay. From there, we've got our bathtub, which is a length of 34 and a width of 14. So we'll start with the width. So that's 14. And then we have got 34. So that will be 34 over there. Okay. So now we have got and just to double check my measurements again, 1,700 divided by 50 is 34. 700 divided by 50 is 14. Okay, then our last one will be our sink. So we will have the sink over here, obviously. So we will have the length of the sink, which is 10. So we're going to neatly put in 2 really light lines indicating that the measurement is 10. So we'll have a line neatly going there and a line neatly going there. And then from there we will measure 30. So we've got 30 over there. I don't know why this one ends up being so skew, unless my paper might be skew. And then we're going to obviously draw in the outline of the sink. So we've got the outline over there, outline over there, Then we've obviously got to get the sink part of the sink. So that will be a thickness of 10. Something's not making sense here. What's going on? 500 divided by 50 is 10. So 400 divided by 50 is 8. This is supposed to be 8 as well. So let's just quickly fix this here. So this will be 8, which means we'll sit 2 millimeters or a millimeter in on each side. And then we'll have a length of 10, and then this needs to be 2 millimeters shorter. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm calculating these things very incorrectly today. It's quite annoying actually. So the wash basin will just be slightly shorter. So just make sure that your measurements are correct before we get drawing, otherwise you're going to have a really messy drawing like mine's turning out to be. Okay, there we go. Okay, from there we can obviously start drawing in our sink part of the sink. Okay, then we've got a drain and an S for sink. Alright, so once you have drawn that in, then we can obviously scratch off that we've done all the fixtures as indicated by the abbreviations. That, and obviously you can check here which fixtures you had to do in case you're not 100% sure. You could do the same for the doors and windows. Okay, so you can see all of these fixtures we have put in. Next it says all electrical fittings is indicated by the numbers. So we've got a one-way switch, two-way switch, fluorescent light, ceiling light, switch socket outlet, and distribution board. So we're going to start off by putting in everything that has a number 1. So we've got 1, 2, 3 bits with number 1, and that is a single switch electrical symbol. So we've got circle and a little pole. Then we will have a circle and a little pole again over here, as well as a circle and a little pole over here. Okay, then we've done that. We can move on to the two-way switch. So now we're going to find all the number 2s. So that's 1, 2. A two-way switch is a switch that can switch on both sides. So that's this one here. So we will have, oh, that's also built-in coverage. You can label that. We will have the one arm of the switch like that. And then on the other side, you will have a switch like that. So it's important to know what switches are what, because you will be given a diagram of them, but if you don't know what they are, it's not going to help you. Then we've got a fluorescent light, which will be 4 by 40 watts, and the fluorescent light is in the kitchen. So you will start off by drawing a light that's over here in the middle. Okay, neatly like that. And you will label it 4 times 40 watts. 4 times 40 watts. Okay, once you've got that, we are going to move on to the next one, which are ceiling lights. So we have one ceiling light here, another ceiling light here, and another ceiling light over here. And then from there we've got switch socket outlets at number 5. So we've got a switched socket outlet over here, one over there. Then we have got another one over here. And just to check and make 100% sure those are the only places we have them. Oh, we have a switch socket outlet over here as well. Okay, it's always good to just double check and make sure you've got all of them. And then we will have the number 6, which will be the distribution board, which is just a block that we draw. Oh my gosh, it's driving me nuts. There's so many things lying around. We've got the distribution board over here, so we'll draw that in. Just do a little rectangle. Okay, the next important thing will be to connect all your switches together. You will see that arrows will be given for which light connects to which switch. So these two obviously connect, then these will connect, this here will connect, this will connect to the ceiling light, and this one will connect to the ceiling light as well. Okay, so now that we've got all of that, we can move on to all of the hatching detail. Okay, so the hatching detail will obviously be your walls. So we know that when you hatch at a 45-degree angle, and when you hatch brick, you've got a short line or a long line followed by a short line. Then you've got a long line followed by a short line until you go all the way through the building. So I'm going to quickly do that off camera and then we'll continue. Okay, once you've done that, we have one last thing to do, and that is to label the room designations. So we've got the open area, which we will call or label underneath as tile. Then we have the bathroom, which is also tile, so you will label tile. And the bedroom is carpet. Try not to write over your light fittings. I'm sorry that I'm doing that. The office is laminate. And everything needs to be written in capital letters. And then that will be your drawing completely complete for the floor plan. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I will hopefully have the northeast elevation out very, very soon.